Hello there, Martin Kiff, Martin's Metal Art. Um, as some of you know, I've had many different professions. Um, when I was a small kid, I remember going to the Helena Rodeo and watching, just being glued to my seat watching the bullfighters, the rodeo clowns. Um, Thought it was something that I really wanted to do. Uh, don't ask me why, but I had that opportunity once I got to college at Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo. Uh, World famous rodeo team. Um, many great cowboys come out of there. First of all, like to clarify, I'm not a cowboy. Cowboy is someone who gets on a horse, ropes, um, basically works cattle, and now there are very few of those, because most of the time there's no horse involved. Most of the time the cattle ranchers they are on ATVs or in some cases helicopters, but where the horse lives on to work cattle is really in the cutting horse competitions and the rodeo. I pretty much can't ride a horse. I could sit on one. I can act like I know what I'm doing. My dad was a cowboy. He grew up on a cattle ranch. I grew up in the suburbs. My main connection with rodeo as a kid was to go to the Cow Palace in San Francisco once a year, and that was a family tradition. We'd watch the Grand National. One of my goals in life when I started rodeo was to work the Grand National. I was able to do it fairly quickly in my career. Spent many years in October, sometimes up to 3 weeks doing the Grand National. The last time I worked it, I believe, was 2010. When I first started, it was like 36 performances. Last time I did it, it was like 4 performances. And the irony was, last time I did it, I think I made more money than the first time I did it. As a rodeo clown, you get paid by the performance. I, went from the aspect of fighting bulls, being a bullfighter, saving the riders, to the comedy. I made that transition about halfway through my rodeo career. Basically because there was a fat guy in the barrel telling jokes, making a lot more money than I was saving riders. I was really never good at saving the riders. I'll be the first to admit. You look at these guys today. We pretty much got in their way, the bull's way. We were able to maneuver around them, and I call it sheepdog passes. Give the bull riders one shot, to kind of get up and scramble out of the way. These guys today pretty much stand there between the bull and the rider and will take the shot. That happened very rarely to me, mainly because I was in the wrong position as far as I was concerned. But anyway, I love the way these guys fight bulls now. I'm very impressed. When you get your pro card, it takes 2 signatures from bullfighters, PRCA bullfighters or rodeo clowns. Takes a couple signatures. Basically you're sponsoring this person and saying to the world that, hey, he's good enough to join my ranks. I've been very fortunate to sign a number of very good bullfighters cards. I consider that maybe my biggest honor in rodeo. I had a great career. I loved every minute of it. Saw some great country, made some great friends, worked some great rodeos. Anyway, now I'm a welder, now I'm an artist. Let's do something fun, and I'm gonna make a cowboy. So, what do you need to make a cowboy? A couple things here, and we're gonna go through the step, but this is a fun process. I'm gonna use the plasma cutter, I'm gonna use a welder, and I'm gonna use just a bunch of stuff I got laying around. So, we're going to create some art. So it's the first thing, the most important thing, is a broken shovel. It used to be a time when you would take this nice metal shovel and you would replace that handle. Well, when they're only, $25 at the old hardware store, basically this one was like broke, snapped off. I cut it off clean. I am always in the market for shovels. I'm starting a project, an art project. I want at least 40 of these. So everybody in my circle of friends knows that I need shovels. I'm starting a, like 1,000 club art piece with golf clubs. So they all know I need golf clubs, old golf clubs. But any old farm implement, any old tool, people drop this stuff off all the time. So anyway, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the shovel. So the first thing I'm going to do with the shovel, I won't bore you with how I use the saw, but I'm going to cut this thing pretty much right about there. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that. So there's my shovel. I cut my shovel. This is going to be the nose. I started making art with a $3,800 transmission bill. And anyway, when I got my transmission redone, it was a 1997 Dodge 3500 great truck. Hauled me, my trailer, and all my clown stuff all over the country. But I was not going to stand for a $3,800 transmission bill. I got all the parts that they had replaced, and I decided I was going to turn it into some type of metal art. So I started making these cows, one of which is outside the transmission shop in Healdsburg. I made one for the guy with the hope, and it's come true, of that anytime they've got a bunch of old bearings and stuff laying around, I go by there, every couple of months, and I pick up all these old, this is something with a transmission. I don't know what kind of bearing that is, but anyway, I try to find a couple of the same, and I've got kind of a grab bin. I just go through their little metal recycling area, and I help myself. That was the best cow, the one that I gave away. Anyway, like I say, you be nice to people, people are nice to you. So I've got kind of an unlimited supply there. So I got, this is going to be the mustache on the cowboy, a brake rotor off the front of a Ford 150. And I kept the old ones, and I'll show you why I kept the old ones. This is going to be the hat. So we got hat, face, and we're going to turn all this into a cowboy. So first step, we're going to cut this in half. I'm going to use the plasma cutter to do that. That's a nice, heavy, thick piece of steel. But anyway, the plasma cutter will blast this thing out in a couple of seconds. All right, now, the best thing is I got two of these now. So let's tack the nose on. So now I got the hat, I got the nose, I got the face. Let's throw some eyes on there. All right, got a couple eyes. Now, it always helps to know an old horseshoer. So now, do we make him a happy cowboy, an evil cowboy? If I was going to make him a happy cowboy, I would, you know, I could make his eyes a little bit goofy like that. I want to make this guy an evil cowboy. So anyway, let me get the cutoff wheel and we're going to go work on this chain right here. Okay. So, you know, kind of a happy cowboy. We're going to turn this guy into a bandit. Put the old whelpers to use here. I'm actually going to tip that down just a little bit. Ha ha! That is one mean dude right there. All right. So I found this other, some type of a cap type bearing, but I think this is going to make really cool teeth. So what I really need to do is smash bejeebers out of this and make it a little bit flatter. Between hammers and box cutters and the old water pump pliers, you can never have enough. You pretty much need one at every workstation where you're at. Let's give this a little tappy tap. Ooh. That's not too bad. That was a lot harder than I thought, metal-wise. We lost a tooth. Anyway, it gives a little character. Put that up top like that. All right. Now this might look like something from the zombie apocalypse. It's actually a pretty darn good use for a broken shovel, a horseshoe, some rotors from your truck or your car, and you hang that dude up on the wall. You are going to need a fairly substantial wall. This is a bad guy, not considered a good guy, like me. Anyway, what to do with a shovel. See you next time. Martin's Metal Art. Good luck. Have fun with this one. They're cool.